Marriage interrupted.
That would be marriage and ADHD.
Would it be?
It
That
would
would
be.
be. I'm Felicia Horton.
I'm Jonathan Horton.
Not certified, not licensed. We're not therapists. We need therapists, but we're not therapists.
Basically, we have no clue.
We have no clue. That's why we're here to help you. Yeah, that's what we do. Jonathan was diagnosed later in life. We decided to, I wanted to write a little pamphlet to help people out. And that pamphlet turned into a book that Jonathan helped me write. It should be coming out soon. And here we are. Here we are to discuss life, being married when one partner has ADHD. Before we get going too far, though, I would like to ask if you would be so kind as to thumbs up and like this video and also subscribe, because we're having a great time doing this.
If they like this video, they can like it.
Even if you don't, you can pretend
They
to like
don't.
it.
Give us one of these.
No, don't do that. That's not good. Don't listen to him. So Jonathan.
I want people to be honest.
The other day driving, I was driving and I was talking to you on the phone. Hands-free. Was driving, 2 hands on the wheel, talking to Jonathan. And you said,
why do you always call me when you're turning?
No, I don't always call you when I'm turning.
I can tell you're turning.
I don't call you when I'm turning.
Because your blinker is going tick, 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 the whole time we're talking.
Which really bothers you. I don't notice.
It
doesn't bother
you. It's
you.
very loud.
It doesn't bother you. What were your words to me? Do you remember what you told me?
Our whole conversation is you turning somewhere.
No, obviously not, because I can't just drive in a square. That's not what I'm doing.
Well, you must have been going left, right, or something, because the blinker was continually on.
Have you ever had this discussion with me before?
Yeah.
How often?
Every time I call you.
Every single time. So you're hypersensitive.
Every time you're in the car.
You're hypersensitive to the sound.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to share with everyone what exactly you said to me at that moment?
I said, call me when you're not turning.
And then what else did you say? Come on, you can admit it.
I said, if there's nobody behind you, you don't have to have your blinker on.
He said, don't use your blinker.
Like, if there's nobody behind you.
And I said, no, that's not what you said. You said, stop using your blinker, turn without it. And I said, but that's against the law and it's dangerous. And you're going, but I can't take the sound.
It's only against the law if there's a policeman behind you.
Right? And I'm like, no, that's not how the law works. And so it became this huge thing back and forth. And because the sound bothers him so much. Now we're having this conversation and I'm driving down a street where there's a school. And there's a lane where everyone's parked for their children, another lane, and then me. And I'm driving by, engaged in the conversation about my darn blinker, which was not on at this time. And in the lane picking up children, someone honks their horn. And he goes, who was that? Who was that? Now, I didn't even notice there was a honk. I'm just driving. The honk is to the side behind me.
Well, I'm wondering if they're honking at you for talking while driving.
Right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I realized that it was the mom was honking for their child, and it all came together for me. But you were annoyed by the sound of the honking, and that disrupted our conversation about the blinker being too loud.
Just call me when you can be silent.
So this is a big thing with ADHD. One of Jonathan's hypersensitivities is
too much noise when you're trying to talk.
It's his superpower, but it's also sometimes a conflict for us. I'm not going to diagnose Jonathan with misophonia. Misophonia. I think I'm saying that right.
That's the word of the day.
It's the word of the day. And the hypersensitivity to the sound. But misophonia is usually when the sound of someone chewing really bothers you, but it's when you're bothered by sound in general, if I'm understanding this correctly. And I don't want to diagnose if that is an actual diagnosis. I'm not going to necessarily.
Is that an ADHD thing? Is that what you're saying?
It's very common amongst people with ADHD, but I'm not a doctor to say you actually have that. Like when you say to me, you love everything in order, you're OCD. I'm not clinically diagnosed as OCD, nowhere near what someone who really suffers from OCD has. But so I don't want to diagnose you with that.
I wish we could miss the blinkophobia.
The blinkophobia. But it's not just the blinking. Do you want to share with everyone else what else we go through, which is a distraction all the time for us? Every night in bed?
Oh, the clock ticking.
Yeah. Well, the clock ticking in the bathroom. We had stopped the clock ticking in the bathroom, and then you heard the clock downstairs in the kitchen ticking.
So I have maybe selective hearing where if she's talking to me, sometimes I can't hear what she's saying, but I can hear the clock ticking upstairs.
So so our conversations are often distracted by outside noise. It really bothers you, which is a common.
No, it bothers me that you can't hear it.
I hear it. It doesn't distract me.
You can hear the clock right now?
I cannot hear a clock right now. Can you really hear a clock right now?
No, I can hear the dog munching down there.
Okay. But as far as the sounds, yes, I hear them. They don't distract me from the conversation. I can have a full conversation and stay on track in that conversation and know there's noise going on, but not be distracted by the noise.
That's correct.
You can't do that.
I'm so happy for you.
Sign of ADHD. So I guess I would love to know from everyone, should I really not put on my blinker when driving because it bothers
I never said don't put your blinker on while driving.
Yes, actually, yes, you
do. If there's nobody behind you and you're on the phone, you don't put your blinker on.
Yes, I do. Because you never know where someone might be. I'm going to try that one time, and there's going to be a policeman just waiting for that. I'm not doing it.
Well, you have to be more observant than that.
I can be very observant. Doesn't mean that it's the safe thing to do. The reason I put on a blinker turning into my driveway at night, at 9:30 at night, when nobody else is around, because you're supposed to put on your blinker.
Or is it to remind you where you're going?
No. I have to turn it on before I go. Therefore, I know where I'm going. So sound is a big deal. Now, on the flip side of this, for Hanukkah, Christmas, your birthday, one of them, they're all at the same time. What did I get you? Kind of, sort of. I wanted earplugs. And he took it. He said, I want this. This is my gift. So I wrapped it because then, at least you had something else to open. What did you get?
Earplugs.
You got earplugs?
No, a Bluetooth speaker. It's nice.
Which one? What do you call it all the time? You have a name for it. Either way, he loves it.
Speaker.
He loves it because it's so loud, and he takes it to work with him. And what do you say?
Thank you.
No, besides you say thank you.
I say turn it up as loud as you can.
Yes, but you told me.
Well, music is different. If you're listening to music,
but see,
you have to have
it's still sound. So the sound, very loud music. You said you get more.
The music drowns out everything else. That's what that music is.
Then let my blinker drown out everything.
No, the blinker is not. And if it had a good beat,
it does.
And put some.
All right, I'm going to give you that. Everyone agree that blinkers have a beat. It's the same thing. It's a beat is something that repeats in a pattern. It does. It's got a great beat. Maybe if we just sang a song to it, then you would pay attention to me. You can do that. That'd be cool. You told me that when you play
dinner on the way home.
You said when you play that speaker at work, you get more done.
I do.
You're more productive. So I find it interesting. So sounds irritate you, but you do better when there's a lot of sound around you.
Good sound.
That's you view that as good sound.
No, it depends on the music.
Some of the music you listen to may not be good sounds.
I'm a big sampler, so I like to sample different. Some music just doesn't do it as good as others.
But the louder, consistent sound makes you more productive. But the consistent sound of my blinker throws you off.
Totally.
To the point where we end up actually have a heated conversation, and you tell me I should put my life in jeopardy to stop annoying you. Yes.
Only if there's nobody behind you.
Oh my gosh. So what did I do? I'm so smart. We're talking, and I had to. I muted the call so I can turn, so that we didn't have to argue anymore. We could just have a conversation and so now every single time I talk to him, I can't be part of the conversation when I'm turning because I have to mute. And so I can't mute my part of the conversation and the blinker at the same time. So I have to segue quickly to make to the conversation. So you
time it. So, okay, I'm going to be driving straight for about a mile. I'm going to call John now.
Oh, because our conversations always last longer than that. But either way, I think it's so interesting in how extremely frustrated you are to the point where one of our daughters was in the car, and even she said, are you really that angry? Can you focus on what mommy's saying instead of being so angry about the blinker?
Yeah, he was in the car with
I can't say because we don't bring our kids into this. I'm just saying that it's something that is definitely an ADHD thing that's on the high level of your irritation. So when we wrote the book,
So what did you learn from that whole thing?
Well, in the book, I wrote that was your superpower, which it is. I'm amazed at what you can hear. I'm amazed that you can tell me what car is driving on the freeway, which is a mile away. I'm amazed that you can hear the clock. I think that's fascinating. But at the same time, it's also a problem. It's actually created a problem because
you can't tell the difference between a Ferrari and a
I'll give you that. I think it's great when you know what kind of motorcycle just went by, right? That was a Harley, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh great, that's great, but that doesn't disturb us. The sounds right now, for some reason, our heated discussion is the blinker. So I've been not calling you on that period of time I have in the car that I could call and check in and talk to you, because otherwise I have to time my mute.
Don't turn or go park in a parking lot or something.
Yeah.
Or come up with a song that goes with the beat of the blinker, right?
Yeah. Or let me be safe, use my blinker and be patient and breathe through it and not get so angry at me for putting on my blinker when I have to turn right and I'm at the corner of a busy intersection.
I can't tell if you're turning right or left. It sounds the same.
It doesn't matter where I'm turning. This happened to have been on a busy intersection when I had it on, with cars all around during a very busy time.
Especially in traffic, if you're sitting at a corner for a long time with the blinker on.
That drives you nuts. But I can't. What am I supposed to do?
Call me later.
I'm going to do that from now on, or not call you at all. This is really, really building on our strengths.
Texting works great
while you're driving.
You can't hear the blinkers
while you're driving. I don't text and drive.
You shouldn't.
Or watch.
You shouldn't be on the phone at all while you drive.
If I'm hands-free talking to you, that is legal, legit. It's like you're sitting next to me. That doesn't bother you when you're sitting next to me and you use the blinker while we're driving together. Why is that?
Because you're on your phone in the car.
No, I'm being serious. When we're driving and talking and you have to turn and you turn on your blinker, you don't yell at me about turning on your blinker. Doesn't bother you then.
It's not as loud. It's like disappears when it's right there. It's really loud. For some reason, it amplifies the sound of it.
Yeah. But we're talking right now about the blinker. But truly, it's any sounds that out of nowhere you'll come up with. Most of my relationship with you, I just feel left out because you'll say, "Do you hear that? Oh my, do you hear that?" And I'm like, "No, what? What?" And I try so hard to hear what you're, and then you tell me what it is, and I'm straining so I'm trying so hard, and I have no idea. I don't hear it.
And then I realized and figured out that it was just voices in my head.
It could be. Oh my gosh. Oh, the truth of that's scary. I'm sorry. All right. Well, this is A Marriage Interrupted.
Sorry if I interrupted.
No, my gosh. I'm Felicia.
I'm Jonathan.
Till next time.